What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We are back for yet another episode of What's the 411. I'm excited. It is the last Monday of April. Okay, so yes, here we are, knee deep in this pandemic, and the months are flying by, right? I say it probably every week. You guys are probably like, yo, you say that every week. But I just can't believe how quickly the time goes by. It really does. Like, it's flying. The weather's getting nicer. If you're here in Toronto, we're not even sure what the weather is trying to do. Like, it's spring one day, it's winter-ish the next day. It's like, I don't even know what the weather is really trying to do right now. But you know what? It's okay. I'm here for it. I know spring is on the way. I know it's coming. I have that confidence that it is coming. Okay. So I just want to send a shout out to you guys for jumping in. I want to send a big shout out to a bunch of different individuals today who are doing awesome things out there. So you guys definitely want to check out their Instagram pages and make sure that you just check them out. You know, if you are interested in any kind of finances, you want accountability coaching, you definitely got to check out my girl Nat. Okay, so reset with Nat, get your finances on, you know, before the summer, get your head right so that you come out this pandemic even greater than you went in, right? Of course, my girl Chris from KSM Elegance, she is the bomb. Okay, Rose Bears, you want to get your Mother's Day stuff in orders. I know Mother's Day is like right there, right? Is it next week? Is it next? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Not this Sunday coming, but the following one, right? So if you have any moms that you want to hook them up with some stuff, you definitely want to get that out there. Sweetness Boutique, she's got some lovely, lovely sleepwear boutique, sleepwear gear. So if you want to get your sleepwear on, some nice, fashionable, comfy, cozy stuff, you definitely want to check out Sweetness Boutique on Instagram. And then my girl Michelle Rochester, who is doing awesome things. She's out here. She's cooking up a storm. She's hustling hard. She is just doing the most. You definitely want to send a big shout out to her. What's up, Simone? What's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you. I Hear You. I Hear You is another one. You want to get your hair, lots of good coconut hair products, all that good stuff. You need to get over to her page, I Hear You. I Can Braid 101, okay? I was on Jodianne. I think you're on here. What's up, Jodianne? I was on your event the other day, and I won a package, so I got my stuff, and I'm so excited. I just messaged her, and I'm like, I got my goodies, and so she was sending me all the information on how I need to use the products. So, guys, if you're looking to do any braiding, you want to learn how to braid or whatever it is, you definitely want to check her page out and then take a course. And then we have Nikki Clark. If you guys haven't heard of Nikki Clark, you definitely want to get in touch with Nikki Clark. She does a bunch of different interviews. She is doing so. You definitely want to check out Nikki Clark. I've got a couple more shout outs, but I do have our interview for the evening in the building. Miss Rachel from Nerima Health and Education Services. So I definitely want to invite her to come in. And we're going to get this interview on and pop in. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear about it. You guys definitely know Rachel was on our last summit. And speaking of summits, of course, you know that we have the spring edition of the International Virtual Summit coming up. And I'm telling you guys, what a lineup do we have for you this season. There are so many great things. First of all, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, okay, guys? We are going to have some live performances, okay? We are going to have some rappers. We are going to have a flowetry poetry artist come through, 2 rappers and a flowetry. So you definitely want to make sure that you're registering. Okay, we're going to have some giveaways, some fly things to give away. We are going to have, not to mention the expert panel. Like the expert panel, I know you guys have seen the post, okay? I know you have. The expert panel is just going to speak for itself. Like, I just can't wait to hear all of the gems that are going to be dropped that day. So make sure that you guys come through, register for the event, okay? Once you guys register for the event, we'll be sending out a little bit more information on how you can win some extra prizes. I have this hashtag going on right now, so if you make sure that you add a seat at our table, it's underscore seat at our table on Instagram here. You want to tag them in a post, you want to tag me in the post, and then you want to use the hashtag a seat at our table and just repost the flyer that I have on my page. And I'm telling you, it is going to be off the chain, okay? I am so excited about it. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm not sure what's going on. Rachel, I am trying to invite you in, so just click OK, and then come in. Okay. Let me know if you're having any issues. Just write it in the comments so we could we'll try to troubleshoot. But oh my gosh, I am excited. Okay, so of course, you know, this seasonal summit has been happening ever since August of last year, 2020. So I've just been doing it for this entire year. August is going to come up to our full year. And then so we went through the summer edition. We've had the fall edition, the winter edition, and now the spring edition. Okay, so that is like completing the year. And then, you know, I'm going to blow it out the water in August. Like, I just don't even know what I'm going to have on the table, what is going to be happening in August, but I'm really excited about it. So make sure you guys register. Make sure if you are looking to try to get in there and get some extra prizes or get yourself in that raffle for the hashtag, get in the hashtag, and then we're going to take it from there. We are going to take it from there. I have no OK button here though. Okay, so do you see the request when I'm sending it to you? Because I'm going to send it to you now. It's going to say probably like 416 is asking you to join the live. I think you say okay or accept. There should be something because it says waiting for Nerima Health. Yeah. What's up, Jamila? Jamila, what is going on? Jamila from Diamond Initiative is going to be one of the panelists, okay? So I'm really excited to hear what Jamila has to say. I know she is something else, okay? This lady right here is somebody that you guys need to follow. She's not only working here in GTA, Ontario, Canada-wide, but she's bringing it all the way back to Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, you know, I have a special place in my heart for the Trinis. My dad is a Trini, so I love Trinidad, okay? So yes, we definitely want to hear all of the great things that Jamila is doing, not only just here, but of course, back home as well. And I also wanted to let you guys know, it says that you are unable to join. I'm not sure, so Rachel, just let me know exactly what it is saying so that we can try to troubleshoot and get you to pop in live. Maybe it's your device. The last time I was on with somebody, it was telling me that they couldn't, but it actually gave me the notification, so I'm not sure. But just pop it in the chat, let us know so that we can try to organize it. But yeah, very, very excited. Very excited about this summit coming up, guys. It's going to be phenomenal. We have so many different individuals coming through. And then, of course, the live performances. Then, of course, we have the giveaways. We have a special package from Chris at KSM Elegance. I can't wait to see the package. You know, she goes off with these rose bears. Now we got the pearl bear. We got the queen bear. Like, there's just so many different ways she does her thing, and I love it. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm putting together another little package giveaway that I'm going to be doing as well. So just keep it locked every kind of like week or so towards leading up to the summit. I'm going to try to show you guys what I have in store for you. So I just wanted to drop that one on you because I couldn't hold it back. I was just so excited. I'm like, this is going to be lit. It's going to be crazy. And of course, I am definitely going to be giving out my book. Let me see if I have it here so I can show you guys a copy. Of course, it's not handy for me, right? Right? Okay, of course. I have two screens, one with you and the other is in the chat. I'm not sure. So when I ask to add you, right now I'm inviting you. It says waiting for Nerima Health. What do you see on your screen? Because it should send you like a notification that says that I'm trying to add you to my my conversation or my live or something. What do you see on your end? Do you see the request? It should maybe it says it in like a bright fuchsia, I think. And it'll say like I'm trying to, there you are. I'm trying to add you to my okay, I can see you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, a bit of tech issues there. I'm so sorry. We just switched from the laptop. I just had two screens, one with you and one with the chat. And I couldn't, there was nothing like, okay, and I'm not that tech savvy. So that part threw me off. So we've now switched
It's
to the phone.
okay.
Thank God for the smartphones, right?
Right, right. Okay, well, we made it. It's
Yes,
all
yes,
good.
yes,
It's
yes,
all
yes.
good. How are you?
I'm good, Ellie. How are you?
I'm good. I am very, very good. So let everybody know who you are, what you do, and then we'll get right into everything.
Yes, I'm Rachel Wasicha Wright. I was born in Uganda. I studied in Uganda. I grew up in Uganda, and I graduated in Uganda in Bachelor of Science in Statistics and Economics, and had an opportunity to come to Canada, and here we are.
Oh, that's
That's a
amazing.
little about me. Yeah.
Okay, and
You
then
want much
so,
more than that?
well, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it,
Okay.
right? So talk to us about Nerima Health Services. What is Nerima Health? How did you guys come up with it and all that?
Yeah, I'm the executive director for Nerima Health and Education Services, and I'm quite passionate about it. Nerima Health and Education Services was mainly triggered, or the main foundation was in memory of my mom. My mom was so passionate about health, about education, and she was an amazing lady. I mean, everybody says that about their mom, but I haven't met a wiser woman than my mom. And sometimes I feel sorry for my daughter because my mom had 6 of us and she did a great job. And I'm panicking with just one. And it's, yeah, so, but unfortunately last year, on 26th of June, 2020, she succumbed to cancer. So I sat after she had passed away. It was during COVID. We couldn't travel. We couldn't go back home. It was really tough because we are 6 siblings and all of us were out here. And so it was tough for us, but God had plans. We shall get to that too. Because she was so passionate about education and health, when we sat and spoke to a few friends of mine, we sat together and had a chat about her, telling her what she was all about. And we realized that with the little she had and what she'd accomplished, it would be a shame for us to just sit back. She was a big force to be reckoned with. So we decided to come up with Nerima Health and Education Services, which we registered on October 1st, 2020. It's registered in Canada and is operating in Uganda. And we are really excited about it.
Okay. So talk to us about the different services that you guys provide.
We are looking at health and education, and maybe I should first back up a little and talk about my mom a little about that, because she was born in an era where girls were not educated. And at a very tender age, her eldest brother decided to take her up and put her through kindergarten. And she was quite smart, according to her brother, who was my uncle, who also passed away a few years ago. So he educated her, put her through school up to grade 6. And at grade 6, he stopped putting her through school. So she started knitting aprons, and she did knit aprons. She went to school she went to college as a teacher. She became a teacher, and then a wife and a mother. So when we see what she accomplished with the little she had, it was a big motivation for us to do what we are doing today. My mom was a bishop's wife. My dad was a bishop.
Okay.
My mom was a bishop's wife. So she was considered as a mother of the church. So the whole district knew her as the mother of the church. And it was it wasn't split up in yes, there's the religious part of it, but all religious affiliations kind of got drawn to her. So it wasn't like she was just a mother of the Christian church, or she was a mother of the district, almost, I should say. So because of that, she was so passionate, and being a mother and being a teacher and being smart too, I should add, she put together all the components, and she was passionate about the whole district and all kids and all. She tried to encourage most kids to go to school, to do everything that they needed to do. So Nerima, when she passed away, and when we were growing up, going back a little, when we were growing up, when she retired, when my dad passed away, we moved to the village. Then when she retired, she decided to take care of the kids in the community. So she did not denounce being a mother of the district or being a mother. She continued being a mother, but now she was of a smaller community. And so it was interesting because while we were growing up, the house, the doors and windows all had chalk and, letters 1, 2, 3 and book and reading. But so all the kids in the village who couldn't make it to school came home, and she did free training for them and free education. And she also, we grew up with an orchard at home. She liked fruits. So she was passionate about education, but also health. So we grew up with mangoes, with oranges, with pineapples, but it was more of a health aspect of it. Up to the end, my mom, when she learned about aloe vera, she grew aloe vera. So whenever she wasn't feeling well, she boiled aloe vera, and so she was so passionate about both education and health. So when she passed away, we decided to come up with Nerima Health and Education Services, which is focusing on both education and health. And when you look at her stories, she was more interested in the vulnerable population. So vulnerable in different communities is relative. So when you come to Uganda, when we look at Nerima Health and Education Services, we are looking at the vulnerable, but we are also looking at the youth with kids. We are looking at the seniors. We are looking at some people who have health or mental issues, the physically challenged, everybody who is in that category, who is in vulnerable population. So we are trying to focus on both education and how to use public health measures to improve on their well-being. So we are working with several partners in Uganda. We have some members here and we have some members in Uganda. We are working together to see that our goals are achieved. It's all about educating the community on preventative measures. So
that's amazing. Wow. Your mom sounds like a superwoman.
Oh, she was. In my eyes, she was. In my eyes, she was. And Ellie, it's all a matter of perspective. But when I sit and think about myself, and see, my dad passed away when I was going to grade 1. And she moved me from where we were. So we moved from this high lifestyle to a real challenging lifestyle. And, you have no water, you have no electricity. I had to walk 6 miles one way to school and 6 miles back. And you've heard about the rains in Africa. They get really nasty. And then I'm walking in those rains. And, but being able for her to steer a ship for me to move from that point to where I am today, she's a superwoman. Right. Everybody has a story to tell, but she's a superwoman to me. Yeah, so definitely. When I see what she achieved with what she had, sitting back and just, it doesn't feel right.
Wow.
It doesn't feel right.
So you guys decided that you were going to get together. How many people are on the committee?
In Canada right now, we are 2 directors. I'm the executive director. Then we have Lucy. Hi, Lucy. She's the director here. Then we have some advisors. And the great thing about it is we are working with public health here because there are so many components about public health and preventative measures here that we've come to love and we believe can be used at home to improve the lifestyle. So we have a couple of people here. Then we have a team in Uganda. We have a head of health. We have a head of education. And then we have a women's representative head in Uganda. So right now, we have 3 people on the board. who are working together, but we have so many people in the background who are trying to help here, and they're advising on what direction to take.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
we are
Gee,
excited about it.
yeah, for sure. So like what kind of health services do you find that are most in need? So in Uganda right now, where are, I guess, the leading um, focus that you have? Like you talked about, yeah, youth that are having children, you talked about kids, mental health. Like where do you see a focus?
Right now, COVID has kind of slowed us down a little
Hmm.
because we were hoping in May, actually, when we spoke during the Winter Summit, while looking at going to Uganda in May or June to have
Right.
youth camps.
Hmm.
So we believe that the youth, if we get some youth from schools and they come into camps, we are looking at giving them leadership skills and also a health perspective.
Right.
And we are also looking at educating them health-wise from here with the social media and everything, with Zoom, for those who can't be there, we can use some people here, some professionals here to do the education, especially if we have them in the same place.
Hmm.
So we basically we are looking at educating them to improve their livelihood. And we believe that if we start by educating the youth, and the great thing about it is when you grow there, you understand the culture. And then when you come here, you understand the culture. So you try to integrate the two in a way that people who haven't grown on both sides or who don't understand both cultures would find challenging. So, yes, so we are looking at mainly educating the masses there. But right now with COVID has told us a lot. It has held us really back. And so what we've done is instead of sitting back and not focusing on the normal diseases or the preventative measures for the diseases that are often going on there, we are trying to have a COVID intervention right now.
I see.
So, so
And
yes,
so how
so
is COVID affecting the community down there?
COVID has affected the community in several different ways, but it's people deal with COVID differently depending on the community you're in. Because like everywhere, people here are fed up and people in Uganda are fed up. Now, here sometimes you can go for a checkup that is free. In Uganda, you can't have a free checkup. And if you're found to have COVID, you're expected to pay a high amount of money to go for a checkup or to get the necessary treatment. So even if the numbers show they are low, there is still a belief that many people are not getting tested, and a lot of it is affiliated to resources.
Hmm.
So what we've decided to do as Nerima Health and Education Services, we had a meeting yesterday actually, the Uganda and Canadian team, trying to see how we can penetrate the system or how to deal with COVID in Uganda in the community. And so what we are doing is we are looking at what is it called? We are looking at mainly super spread events because it's like funerals, parties. So that's what we are focusing on. And what we are planning on doing is try to sensitize them. We are planning on putting up flyers in the local dialect that they understand, of both English and local dialect. We are hoping that some of our members who are on the ground will be able to attend some of the super spread events and distribute some masks, some sanitizer, that even if people are not willing to go for testing, at least if they can try to take the necessary precautions to avoid the spread, that will be something. It's better than nothing. So we have it's great working with a team that is there because it's quite diverse. For example, the head of education, he's a high school teacher who is in the media, but he's also a pastor. So while he can sensitize people in media, he can do it in school as well. But now what we are looking at is during Sunday services, when he has his congregation as they go in they are going to get some masks. They are going to have hand sanitizer and then social distancing. So we are looking at all those. We are working together, and the professionals we are brainstorming, and that's what we've decided on doing for now. So we are starting that immediately.
That's
Sensitize the community, try to distribute some masks, try to give them some hand sanitizer. And right now, the pressing issues are we were having chats yesterday, and we are looking at the disposable masks might not be very helpful. They're helpful but that would mean, spending over and over again. So we are trying to, we were chatting with the lead for women in Uganda, and she's trying to look around for a lady in the community who can make masks out of cloth. So we are going to try and look for resources. As soon as she gets back to me, she said by tomorrow she'll have some information for me. We are going to send resources to see if we can get materials so we can get somebody to make masks to be distributed at the super spreading events. And so that's what we are doing now. It's exciting. It's not.
It seems like you guys have a good community. Like, it seems like you have a good base here in Canada, but like the whole community is working together to try to make this all work for you. So it seems really good.
Yes, and you know what? And what is interesting about people is it doesn't matter how we look at it. I think everybody wants to be understood or discussed with. So one thing I learned about the communities, both here and in Uganda, but let me speak to Uganda right now. When you discuss with them, they will work with you. So you sit, you discuss with them, and you're like, you know what? This is a real bad situation. What do you think we should do? What about you do this and I do this? They will work with you. And what is very interesting about them is when they give you their word, they don't need a lawyer to sign papers. You can count on their word. So it's easier. It's not so hard to work with them, because when someone tells you, oh, I'll be there, and we'll do this, they give you the momentum, they give you the energy to work with them, because they know there's a bad situation, especially when you tell them how it's affecting them or how it's going to affect in the long run. Like every community, they don't want their kids or the offsprings to be affected down the road. So they are going to come in. But sometimes where we go wrong is we talk to people and we tell them what to do without explaining or trying to listen to them or discussing with them and seeing where they are coming from and trying to work with them. And if you work with people, they'll always, especially when they know that everybody's going to benefit. So, yeah, we are working with the communities that we're hoping to get some results.
Very huge point is making sure that the lines of communication are open.
Yes.
And then making sure everybody is on the same page. So this is just like, as Finally Epic said, very, very inspiring. Very, very inspiring work. But you just mentioned that your dad was a bishop. So talk to us about your faith and how that plays like a whole role in everything that you are doing.
Faith is broad. Yes, I am very prayerful. My faith is the foundation of me. Anyone who knows me knows that our faith is a very big foundation of who I am. Like I said, you sit, and the questions I often ask myself are, am I the smartest? Am I the luckiest? Who am I to be here seated? So when we watch, or when you watch kids in Africa, World Vision, and they're barefooted, they are walking slippers, they are walking, and they are pale, I see myself at that point. And I do not, I guess what bothers me is many people have hands to reach out, but not very many do it. And what is between them and us is just that hand, the hand that somebody gave me. So my spirituality makes me feel like I'm a miracle. Who am I to be here? Who am I to be here talking to you, Ellie? There are people.
Who am I to be entertaining this conversation?
Right? And you realize that there's a superpower, and that's God to me. Because when I sit, and what I find a little embarrassing for me, maybe not embarrassing, I don't know what word to use, but when I was in high school, oh, sorry, when I was in junior school, eventually my mom took me to a boarding school. But I went to a boarding school and I had this girlfriend who loved me dearly. And yet I was from an underprivileged, and she was from an overly privileged family. But I used to run to the canteen to buy her bananas so she could give me a banana. Then I would do her laundry so she could give me some sugar. You know? So there are so many people who are far ahead of me that sometimes when I go back, especially if they were from more affluent families, and and then I used to be the bottom one trying to help out. And then when I see where I am and where they are, I'm like, who am I? Many were smarter, many were richer, many were more privileged. But who am I to be where I am today? It's not luck. Some people will call it luck. It's not luck. And what was most interesting is my mom was also quite spiritual that way. Because if you asked her, when my dad passed, my eldest brother was a teenager. So if you ask my mom how she raised 6 of us without dad, she was like, it's God. What answer do you have? So sometimes it gives you a certain spiritual foundation that you sit and you're like, you know what? He's brought me this far. He's not abandoning me. And then you hand everything to him. And, it's exciting. And when you get to that point, you're not scared of anything. You're not scared of anything. If I see myself, why should I panic now when I wasn't panicking when I was walking 6 miles? Why should I panic?
Very true. Very, very true.
But I think also me, I believe in giving. One of the silliest things many parents would have killed for is my mom would work so hard. Sometimes we used to sell bananas at the main roadside for me to raise tuition. And then there would be some extra. And then she's like, okay, so you're going to school for 3 months. And this is all we have. This is your tuition. And this is your pocket money. Buy sugar if you run out. And then I would get to school. And then I would find a friend of mine who has been told to go back home because they don't have tuition. And I'll give them all my pocket money. Pay their tuition. And then when mommy hears what happened, like for 3 months I don't have sugar, but my friend had better not go back home. So sometimes we have some of those foundations that make us who we are. And then you get to a certain point in life and you're like, really? If I could do that then, what is going to stop me now?
Very true. Very true. So I see that you are just following in your mother's footsteps.
Oh, no. I can never be like her. She was different. I try to mimic, but I can never be as good as her. She was a big heart. And it was interesting because when she passed away, she had a knack of making everybody feel important, or the most important. That when my mom passed away, I was the last born. At one time, I thought I was the most important until she passed away. And somebody came and told me, she loved me most. I'm like, oh, really?
The competition started, right?
You know what? We didn't even bother competing. It got to that point where it's like she wanted us to feel all special. And that's how we have to live it. Because one member of the community who she had helped elevate came, he's the one actually who came and told me she loved him most. And I'm like, why? And he was crying actually. He was really upset because somebody had told him it wasn't true. And he said, has anyone ever had a honeymoon in this home? It's only me she had for a honeymoon. And I'm like, yeah, you made your case. She loved you most, So when you see how he took care of the vulnerable, and he kept telling me stories about how he was a nobody, and he elevated her because of her position in society. When she spoke about him, people started listening to him. And because of that, he had done a lot better in life after making contact with her. So she had that impact on people. So,
wow, that is super phenomenal. Talk about some of the different barriers and misinformed beliefs, because I remember you touching briefly about that in the in the summit. Talk to us about some of the different barriers and misinformed beliefs that your clients would face that you are determined to change in Uganda.
You know, a lot of it is culture. A lot of it is culture. Like when we look at the vulnerable population, I'll talk about the young girls who get pregnant. And during this COVID era, because they haven't gone to school, the pregnancy rates have gone really high. And that is really frustrating for us. But when you look at them, according to our culture, you are not supposed to let anybody know you're expectant. That is the way they believe it. Because if you let people know you're expectant, there might be something they will do to compromise your pregnancy. So young girls will conceive, but they will not go for prenatal tests because they're scared, because it's a taboo. It becomes a taboo telling anyone that you're pregnant. So those are some of the
So
things.
sorry to interrupt you, but for the entire pregnancy, you don't tell anybody, you just show up one day with this baby?
No, now as the belly grows, people start watching and guessing, and then when they ask you if you're pregnant, you smile.
Mm.
You know, you're not supposed to talk about it because it's a taboo talking about your pregnancy. So there's some of those things like a taboo talking about pregnancy, and then some of people who are mentally ill or physically ill, those who are physically challenged, there's a taboo about a family letting the public know that they have a challenged kid. So there's a tendency to hide that because they believe that if you have a mentally challenged kid or a physically challenged kid, if the families intermarry, the genes are going to go to another family. So you hide that kid. You do not show the community that you have that kid, apart from the few who know. So the kid might end up staying in the house throughout, or, you know, being hidden behind, and will not, you know, experience the real life they are capable of just because of the taboos. So there are some of those things. Then, of course, the witchcraft playing in, and a lot of things go wrong when people fall sick. Instead of going for treatment, they believe it's witchcraft. So there's there are several barriers like that we are working with the health professionals, with the community leaders, the cultural leaders, the spiritual leaders, to see that we intervene and sensitize the community about it. And the only way we can do it is through education.
Right.
Yeah, because you sit here, Ellie, and you see, this is a beautiful place. And I think, I guess, even if my mom was who she was, we sit and we're like, she did so little with what she had. What are we going to do as her kids? And you sit and you're like, okay, we are in this place where you have people who are, even if they're mentally ill, you see what they're able to do. You see those who are physically challenged working in stores, they're able to live a life. They're able to live a complete life, a semblance of complete life. Right. But as soon as you have a kind of disability, you are ousted. It's like you have no life at all. So those are some of the interventions we are trying to penetrate. Say, no, it's okay. They can do this. They can do that. They're capable of living a life, a complete life in their own way. So those are some of the things we are. And what is most exciting for me is to see that we have professionals there, and professionals here who work for public health, who are part of the team, that they're using also public health measures and interventions and information to help with whatever we are doing. So it's exciting having such people on board. It's really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And somebody here is saying shifting beliefs must be hard. I mean, you're speaking about going your entire pregnancy, even as a teen. I know even here in Canada and North America, it is hard as you've seen teenage pregnancies. Everybody, growing up in Canada has seen teenage pregnancies. We see how it affects the teen, how it affects the family, the friends, and sometimes there is a shame that's associated with becoming pregnant as a teen, sorry. But then when it comes to tying it in with witchcraft, that is a little bit, on a different level. So here in North America, a lot of people talk about it, but we don't really have that deep conversation. Like it's not as open as it is maybe in Uganda. So could you give us some kind of background on why they would feel that way? Is witchcraft something that goes on in Uganda, or is it just a taboo, or is it a myth?
I think it's a bit of each. I think it's a bit of each. But because when you look at it, and at one time I thought witchcraft was a Ugandan thing. Then I came here. Then I realized that it's a global thing. So
Right.
it's a bit of each. And now when it comes to Uganda, when you talk about the kids here, the shame and everything of pregnancy, when you live in a society that allows childhood marriages, because of lack of resources or because of barriers going to school and all that comes with it. There isn't a lot of shame in kids getting married, kids getting pregnant at young ages. So while here we perceive it differently, there it's more acceptable. But those are the mentalities we have to change. Is it hard? Absolutely. It's not going to be easy, because if it was easy, somebody would have just snapped a finger and changed. But that's why we are engaging community leaders, we are engaging spiritual leaders, we are engaging everybody we can. We have professionals, and we are going to try our best with the current technology. We cannot say we won't be able to do this because we are not there. As long as they're able to have Zoom and we're here, we have the resources. If we can't go there, then we can have it on Zoom. We can have these chats online. So it goes back to communication and making everybody aware of what the barriers are, how it's affecting them, and how we can break the barriers. So it's not going to be easy, but it's something that can be done. It's not impossible. We are going to break the barriers, and we have great team. We believe in communication. We believed on both sides of the spectrum. We understand both cultures, and we believe that we have a few skills under our belts that are going to help break some of those. And already, like, we are already encouraging, for example, the organization we're talking about that has given us some office space, but it has ramps. It has bathrooms with physical challenge accessibilities. So we are already seeing some change coming up. And so all we really need, that's why we are focusing on education. As soon as you educate, and we were chatting about that with Archbishop when we were in Uganda, as soon as you change their mind frame, that's what you have to aim for. If you change their mind frame, sit, communicate, let them understand where you're coming from, talk about it, and they will understand that they are going to gain more from it. And so we are passionate because we know it can be done. Like one of the things, for example, I was excited about a children's Christmas party. We had over 160 kids for a Christmas party on 28th of December. But as soon as you get on, I use the WhatsApp video, just talking to them on WhatsApp and talking to them and telling them what they need to do, to listen to their parents, to do this, social distancing, to have masks on. And there's like, you know what, I am here. Have you ever used a plane? You know what, if you listen, if you study hard, if you do this, if you read hard, you're healthy or this, you'll be able to take a plane and maybe go further than me. They get motivated. They might not all get somewhere, but lots of them are. Because when you tell them, I used to pray like you, I used to pray there, I used to sit there, I used to go to your school, and this is where I am, they all believe that, you know what, it's attainable. So they're more encouraged to do that. Even the youth, when you talk to,
sorry, go ahead.
No, even the youth, when you talk to them, they all love listening. They all, and that's the interesting thing about youths. They have a lot of energy, but they love trying to get the necessary tools to move higher. So when I go back home, whenever I go back to, it's interesting, when I'm here, I say home, and when I'm there, I say home. But whenever I'm in Uganda and I go to church and I'm chatting with all these youths, and I'm like, okay, so what can we do? Where can we, so what do you guys want to do? Where do you think I can help? Then I sit and I talk to them, and they try to do baby steps, but you see them trying to make a difference in their lives. And little by little, I believe the community is going to change.
For sure, 100%. And the work that you're putting in is definitely something that's, as you can say, it's needed.
Yes,
And you're touching on the exact thing. Education is going to help change the mindset, which
yes,
is the goal. Because once the mindset is changed, then you definitely have a group of individuals that now are thinking differently, who are
yes,
able to, circulate that type of education amongst other people, their
yes,
peers, their family, their friends, and before you know it, you have a whole community of individuals who are well educated in these types of
yes.
things.
And that's why we're not focusing on just kids or just the youth or just the women. We know that the women, for example, are home caregivers. So if they learn that they need to eat healthy to stay healthy, for the kids to be able to go to school and attend the necessary education, then they'll do what they need to do. So then we look at the youths. It's very interesting. I have a couple of kids that I'm trying to put through school in Uganda. But there's one I went to visit the family, and he's 14 years old. When we go to the home, he was the head of the home. The dad passed away, but it was like it was interesting watching him and the way he was commanding authority. And it's like he is 14. He's in high school, he's in grade 9. But how does he
Mhm.
command all that type of authority? So when you see it, and that's one of the things that are motivated us when we talk about youth camps. I see the impact he has in the community. And I'm like, I want you to attend this camp because when you get the knowledge about leadership, as opposed to ruling, because we don't want them to get there and become, commanding everybody around. They need to learn leadership skills. So if you learn the leadership skills, the communication skills, and you learn the health preventative measures, then when you go to the community, you're going to spread it, or
Mhm.
you're going to talk about what you've learned. So we are using different pointers like that to
100%.
interject.
Yes. Very, very key. Very, very key. I'm here for it. It's all good. It's all good. Um, so what's coming up for Nerima Health Services in the next little while? What are the projects that you guys are currently working on? And then, of course, how um, can we help? If there's any way that here in Canada we can support the cause, how do we do that?
Nerima, right now, like I mentioned earlier, COVID has told us a little because we had great, great plans for. Actually, the school lead, the education lead, had already contacted some schools with some youth that were hoping to come for camps. We were hoping to have a camp in May or June, and uh, so that has been put on the back burner. So we are now focusing more on the COVID interventions. We are focusing more on the COVID interventions and going to places that are super spreaders. I was just reading in the newspaper today that some schools that opened 3 weeks ago had to be closed because of COVID. So even the kids who are at home who have been sent back home are now super spreaders. So we are trying to see how to penetrate, go to funeral homes to sensitize the community, put up flyers. To be able, like I was mentioning, we are looking for somebody who can make masks. Instead of shipping off masks from here, we are trying to get somebody who can make masks. So they'll have an incentive, they'll have materials, they'll have all the necessary tools they need to make masks for the community. So we are using people like the education leader I was talking about, Joshua. He's a pastor, and he's going to do he during his church service he'll invite the health lead to come and speak, you know, during the service. So we are really looking at penetrating or intervening from those angles of education, around, especially in places where they are super spreading. And so right now, what we are looking for is advice, resources, anyone who can help. Um, we right now the interventions, our main interventions are masks, hand sanitizers, and sensitization.
Mm.
And putting up flyers and trying to educate the community as much as possible. What is interesting is where I find that they're a little more fortunate than us is they have a lot of organic foods that you talk to people, and people don't want to talk about COVID in Uganda a lot. They don't want to. They acknowledge that it's there, but they don't want to talk about it because it is associated with money. It's like if we say there's COVID, then you're going to. So what many people are doing is as soon as they start sneezing or coughing or get symptoms, you'll see people looking out for ginger, looking for lemon, looking for all the ingredients that have always been used for trying to get rid of the symptoms. Aloe vera. So they're trying their best to do that, to get rid of the symptoms. So they acknowledge it. They don't want to talk about it, but they're doing whatever they can in their way, whatever they can afford to avoid the transmission. So we are hoping that if we can have some masks for them, some hand sanitizer when they attend those events or in schools. We're hoping that is going to help short term, because we really need COVID out of the way so we can continue with the main platform of Nerima Health and Education, because it's not about COVID. It's about education, health and education in the community to improve the lifestyle. So COVID is taking away from the main goals, but it's a necessary thing for us to be part of to help alleviate COVID.
Definitely. So, I mean, while everybody feels the same way about COVID, we're over it. We're tired of COVID.
Yes.
We're definitely learning how we can utilize this time to do different things. So as you
Yes.
mentioned earlier, like having these Zoom classes, teaching educationally, virtually, doing whatever you can from where you are is key as well.
Yes.
So definitely are doing some great things out there,
Oh,
Rachel.
thank you.
Yes, we're here for it. So we definitely want to see how we can help, how we can support. So if anybody right now is listening to the live and you guys want to donate, or you have any suggestions, or you have any resources. Sorry?
We have a website. It's called nerimaservices.org. Okay. nerimaservices.org. It's nerimaservices.org. And if you go to the website, there is a donate button. So if anyone is able to donate, we have PayPal, because we know we have friends. Like we left Uganda, Canada was our choice, but we have friends all over the globe who we believe are interested in helping as well. So we have PayPal. We are doing e-transfer. We've set up accounts for e-transfer. In Uganda, they use telephone transfer methods called mobile money. And it's also on our website. So there are different ways of donations. And drop us an email. Say something. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We have emails. Drop us some advice. One of those knowledge is power kind of thing. Anything that anyone believes we can do to better lives. Because I'm a strong believer of no one, we can say everything we want, Ellie, but no one go to where they are on their own. They were a product of community one way or another.
100%.
Yes. And sometimes it's like, just find it in your heart you don't have to do it for Nerima. Find it in your heart to try and pull up somebody else the way you are pulled up. Because even like I can sit here and say everything I want, but everybody who gave me a mango when I was tired, dragging my feet from school, helped, played a big role. Wherever I stopped and I was given a glass of water, helped, So there are some small things that we can do to help. But yes, we are taking donations, and anyone who believes they have an equipment that they believe can help our cause. The last time during the Winter Summit, I was talking about some of the equipments we had received. We partner with one of the hospitals that we partner with. is hospice, and they took care of my mom when we were all here. They had health professionals who checked on her and who tried to help her um, manage the pain during the last weeks or the last days of her life. So we partner with them, and we went and saw that anyone who has anything that can help with pain alleviation, with comfort, especially for vulnerable populations who are like maybe adults or seniors, that can make them a little more comfortable. We take everything, wheelchairs, we haven't yet started shipping them because it's a little expensive, but we are hoping that when we get the necessary resources, we'll be able to ship some of those equipment to help the vulnerable population that we are looking at, because they are all in different sectors. So
Yes, yeah, 100%. It definitely is important. As you were just speaking about, every step of the way is an addition to where you are today. So anybody giving you a mango, that drink of water,
yes,
I truly believe in ordered steps. I
yes,
truly believe that there are people that are going to assist you along the way. And at the end of the day, it is all to give glory to God, because we wouldn't have this conversation. I wouldn't have the skills that I have. You wouldn't have the skills that you have,
absolutely,
if it wasn't for the blessings that we would have received from Him. So
absolutely,
every
absolutely,
individual that has come along the way, whether they've contributed in a small way or they've contributed in a huge way, is all in contribution to the greater good. So you guys are definitely doing a great thing out here. I am excited to hear about the different initiatives you guys will be taking in the next little while. So make sure you keep me updated, keep in
I
touch,
will,
because
I
I
will
definitely
stay in
want
touch.
to, you know, support any way that I possibly can. And if you guys do happen to have like a flyer or anything that has your requests with all of your information on it, I will definitely post it and make sure everybody is aware that, you guys are accepting advice, donations, any type of support. And we'll see what we can do right here from Canada to help support our brothers and sisters out in Uganda.
Oh,
Right?
thank you, Ellie. And you know what? And sometimes what is interesting is people who give little give their all. You know that story of 32 cents of a lady who had, yeah. So sometimes we think that it's those who give a lot who are able to help. And we have stories of people who sometimes don't have anything to give, but they say a prayer for you. And then you think it's a coincidence that something has happened. No, they've given you a lot more than handing you $5. They prayed for you. So giving is giving. It comes in so many different formats. But yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Ellie, for having us. Thank
No
you.
problem at all. It was a pleasure having you on. I want to also thank you for joining the winter edition of the summit. It was phenomenal having you on there to share your expertise. So I want to, of course, thank you again for, jumping on with us. It was
I'm
great to do
coming.
this one-on-one because we get to know each other a little bit more. We get to talk a little bit more in depth on of your journey. You spoke to us about your mom and how much of a big role she played in all of this Nerima health, so we're excited about it. But before I let you go, do you happen to have like a quote or anything that you would like to share with everybody?
You know, I gotta find that somewhere. I always have a few quotes here and there. But it really comes down to one thing for me. Please give a hand to somebody. One way or another, we are products of the community. Please hold a hand. Please be a blessing to somebody. You are blessed. Please bless somebody. In whatever small way, please. The world will be a better place. We spend a lot of time complaining and whining why the world is not a good place. Play your part. Just hold one hand.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be, I'm not saying hold the whole world, just one hand at a time. And we'll get somewhere. It will make a big difference in someone's life.
Huge. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely 100%. So thank you. Thank you, Rachel, for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We appreciate you. Do you have anybody before I let you go that you'd like to say hi to?
Oh God, my biggest volunteer for the team, Josephine, my daughter. She's always packaging things that are going to Uganda, and she's always in the groove of things. Actually, she's 6, but she started writing books. I should get her to write a book for the kids in Uganda. But thanks to you, Ellie. I want to say thank you to every person who is playing a role. Nerima Health and Education Services. Hi, Lucy. Dr. David, Joshua, Jeremiah, Florence. Thanks a lot, guys. Everybody who is at the forefront, everybody who is in the background, who is working on the website, everybody who is playing a big role. And also to the community leaders out there. We work with, we are not focusing on just one group of people. We work with the Archbishop, he's on board. We work with different religious leaders. There is Haji in Mbale, he's a big pillar in the community. Hi, Haji. We have so we have so many. We have our pastors, our reverends. So hi to you all. Thanks a lot. God is going to bless this project, and let's work hard for our community, and our kids and offsprings will have a much better future.
Definitely, definitely. All right, Rachel, thank you so much for joining. And we'll be in touch.
Thank you. And I'll get to I'm coming after you. Sorry, I've been so busy, so I haven't chased after you about the spring summit. I hope you haven't filled up the spots. Ellie, I'm right there.
You know what? I was just letting everybody know that the spring summit, we're just talking about it. This is ordered steps. This is God's plan, because it's all filled. It's been filled. I didn't even really have to advertise for the summit this time. I just want to thank everybody for, spreading the word, because it was word of mouth that got this summit jam-packed. And we have it's going to be phenomenal.
Am I too late?
You're too late. You're too late. It is filled. But,
okay.
I do it seasonally. So this one is filled. But for August 21st, I do have, it's completely open. So you can pick whatever time you want, however whatever you want to do, you just let me know. Send me an email and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I've been hustling a little. I kept planning on sending you that message, and I snoozed. I lost. August 21st, I'm in. Yeah, August 21st, I'm in. Thanks a lot, Ellie. Thank you very much. Thank you for blessing us. I hope you be blessed with everything that you're doing. And to everybody who has been part of it, thank you for listening, and thank you for the support. And yes, Nerima Health and Education Services, nerimaservices.org has all the information. Send us an email. The email is right there on our website, and whoever can help, please help. Whoever can donate, please do. We'll be very grateful to help the communities that got us to where we are today.
Phenomenal. All right, Rachel, you take care. Have yourself a great night, okay?
Thank you, Ellie. You as well.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. I have to do this. Yes. Can you pick me out this time?
You know what? Let me try to see if I know how to do it. Oh my gosh. Honestly, let me see. Oops.
Yeah, I'm using a phone, so it's a little tricky.
There should be an X. Like, guys, this is problems, right?
I'm looking for an X. I can't find an X. Oh, you kicked me off. Okay.
Did I?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Or just come out of it, and then I think you can come back in. I need to get it, guys. I need to get it done properly. You know what I mean? Because this is just, that's not right. But I swore I did it the last time. Ask me how I did that, but I just don't know. But anyways, guys, that was a great session with Rachel. I appreciate you guys for hopping on. And as I just told Rachel, I mean, there's a lot of, yes, there we go. She left. Top right hand corner. And I'm always scared to press that X because I'm like, am I gonna cut off my whole thing and then I like my video's gone and I can't save it? But I'm gonna, okay, so it's that right hand X. It's for me, right? It's the big one. I know I should know that by now. But you know what Instagram always does to me? Like they just change the whole thing. Like it was there before, it had an X on the person that you added before, and now the X is gone. And it's like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why can't you just, you know, keep it consistent, Instagram? But whatever. You know, I need to go with the flow. But yes, so the right? Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Um so yes, this was a great conversation. It's always good to hear what's going on another side, on the other side of the world, right? We don't always get that candid conversation about what's happening anywhere else. Like although we do see in the news a lot what's going on in the US, we don't always see what's going on in different countries, for example, Uganda. So it was good to hear how they're dealing with their COVID situation, the different things that they're in need of. And so, of course, if you guys need or you have any support for Uganda, whether it is you know somebody who can support, you know different services that you can provide. And remember, she's talking about virtual services. So if you have anything virtually that you can provide for them, you definitely want to reach out. She's right here on Instagram, Nerima Health Services, and the website was nerimaservices.org. So make sure you head out. She said on the website, if you even want to donate anything, you can donate, but I'll always remember that it's not always monetary that needs to be done. There's a whole bunch of things that we can give just free, you know, by doing something for somebody else, right? So it's not always about the financial. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys for interacting with us in the chat as well. Just want to send a big shout out to everybody. And I want to encourage you guys to register for the spring edition of A Seat at Our Table. I mean, amongst the free giveaways, the raffle that we have going on, the expert panelists, we have live performances. This summit is going to really be something else. And of course, it is Saturday, May 21st. It starts at 12 noon and we are going all the way to 6 p.m. So it's going to be a full jam-packed day. So once you register, you're going to get an email with the information on how you can join the Zoom link. If you are not into Zoom, totally cool. You definitely can watch because we're going to be live on YouTube as well. All right. So I just want to send a big shout out to our expert panelists, a big shout out to our live performers, a big shout out to all of our advertisers because you know we are going to have people advertising for their products, for their services and business by submitting a commercial. So if you know anybody, yes, Chris. Chris is she is going to have a great basket for a giveaway. So we're excited to see what that, you know, is going to be. A bunch of little goodies for everybody. I'm putting together another basket. We have some t-shirts that we're going to be giving away. We've got some other little things that, of course, closer to the summit, we're going to just, you know, keep dropping little things that we're going to be doing to give away. So if you know anybody that's interested in doing a giveaway, please reach out to me, let me know. If you have anything that you would like to give away, please reach out and let me know. Or anybody that wants to advertise, you definitely want to bring your pen and paper because the expert panel always comes through dropping gems every single time. Gems, nuggets, gold bars, whatever you want to call it. There's always so much phenomenal information and edification that we are serving up at each and every summit that you definitely do not want to miss. Okay, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. So it's going to be jam-packed, stacked with not only edification, information, excellence, expertise, but entertainment as well. Okay, guys, free giveaways, all that good stuff, all them goodies. Yes. So you guys have yourself a great evening. Yes, have yourself a great evening. I appreciate you guys jumping on, and I will see you next week, same time, same place with another phenomenal guest.